everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on the Movies, and we are reviewing episode 9 of Better Call Saul, season 4, entitled Wiedersehen. And if anybody knows what that is, that's German for bye. And you say it, auf Wiedersehen means goodbye in German. And that's because, well, we'll talk about that later. But remember how many of the episodes have started out with some kind of time travel, forward, backward, anywhere, whatever. This time it's right now. And remember how Kim was, after they did their little deal with the calling of setting up that thing for Huel, so it would look like he had this big following of people and Louisiana. Well, and she said, I want to do it again. So we start out and we see her on crutches, and I'm like, did I miss something? I thought she had just hurt her arm and they'd taken off the cast.
Yeah, I thought that they were that was gonna be like a flash forward, and then the whole episode would explain like that they tried scamming and it went wrong and she accidentally sprained something. That's what I thought. So.
No, but we find out that, if you remember the last episode, remember when she went to work and that guy from Mesa Verde was there, and he was upset because one of their properties, they wanted it bigger. He wants it bigger. And they told him it was impossible, not entirely possible, but it would take many, many months to change everything. And so that's what this was about, this little thing with her on crutches. You see, she came into this, we don't know the name of the office, some kind of planning office, which has the plans for this property that guy was talking about last week, that he wants to make it bigger. So anyway, this involves Jimmy. She pretends like she has an 8-month-old baby that how did she hurt her leg? I don't even remember.
Brennan.
What?
Brennan.
Oh, whatever. I don't even know. I didn't even hear that part.
Brennan.
She says she did something to her ankle.
Brennan.
And she has a new baby, and so anyway, she lays out these plans, and she goes, I really just want to check and see if our plans match this one, and then they'll be submitted. And so she goes over the plans with this woman. Everything's fine. They check out several little points, dates, and measurements, and all this stuff. And then Jimmy comes in, and there's no baby with him. Of course there's not, because there's none, but that woman doesn't know it. And Kim says, where's the baby? Oh, I left it in the car, and he said, this breast milk I have, it looks like it smells rotten. And he gets this container that you put breast milk in, and she says, oh my God, how could you do that? And she runs out to the car, and they set the breast milk on the plans, and
he cut a little hole in it that made it so that it would leak out.
And I didn't see that, but it spills out all over, and by the time she gets back, you see the messed up plans, and the woman says, it's okay, I checked them, they're both the same, and I'll just switch them out, I'll give you ours. So she says, I'll stamp them now on the pages, whatever kind of stamp that she puts on that they've been like notarized, kind of like that, but I don't know what it's called. And so she stamps them, and she takes them, and Kim takes them, puts them back, and says, thank you, goodbye. And so they're celebrating the next at the Pancake House. So that's what this is. It's a scam.
Another scam.
The scam was, the guy wanted a bigger, 14% more space.
No, 32%.
Oh, 32%. See, some of these details escape me. 32% more space or something. And they told him it was impossible to do it right away. It would take months and months and months. So this was her way of expediting it, although what they did was illegal because it was fraud. But Nobody will ever know, right? Hopefully not.
Which isn't that weird that she, I don't know, that was like the first thing that she would want to do. Like, she's like, let's do that again. Meaning, let's help out these rich people who are jerks.
Make them even richer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was
Isn't that weird?
And so Jimmy starts talking, that he's going to get reinstated soon, and she said, well, she just wants to use their quote powers. That's doing things illegally for good. Yeah. And he says,
that
what?
That makes no sense at all.
What are you talking about?
She's just trying to justify her villainous behavior. And
less than good behavior.
Villainous because she's suddenly become like a villain, and they're gonna make her even more of a villain too. Believe me.
Well, I don't know anything about that, but so that's how it starts off. Like I said, it's present day, and it's like that's almost like a complete switch up from almost all the other episodes, which had different time. Places, past, forward.
All right. So, what did you think of the entire episode as a whole, just in general?
Well, I guess last time I felt uneasy and nervous, and this time it was even worse. Like, there was this one part when they're working on the meth lab and they have to set some charges.
No, don't get into
Well,
specifics.
anyway, it made me very nervous. In fact, it made me so nervous I turned the sound off, so I couldn't hear it because I thought the Germans, or the head German, his name is Werner, I thought he was going to get killed because the charge was.
I was thinking of turning the sound off. But you're just giving away spoilers now, so let's get back to what you.
All I'm saying is it went up a notch or two for tension.
I don't even think there was any tension last week. I thought that last week was more of a
setting it up for
a casual episode. It was just trying to get things done, which I thought last week was a great episode. I gave it A-. I give this week's episode, I give it an A.
Oh, I'll give it an A too.
Well, yesterday you said you gave it a B+. Like you changed your mind.
I gave it an A because I thought it was very well organized and well done.
It was more tension filled.
I think I'm just having a problem. It's in the back of my mind constantly. That next season may be their last season, and the only reason they're doing that because they want it to be symmetrical with Breaking Bad.
That's all you can think about?
And I just keep thinking about that, and I like, why? Oh, this is like a really good place for all these actors to show what they have, and I don't know where else they're going to go where it's going to be like this. Is a great venue and a great creative place for them to act, and the characters are really cool, and I just I feel terrible. I don't know. It's not, I don't like that, so it's in the back of my mind. It kind of,
and it was in the back of my mind too, because I wanted to know, I wanted to be informed about whether I would be disappointed next season, and I will be, I guess. I don't know, but I really loved this episode a lot. I thought it was very well directed specifically. The directing was the best part of the episode. And of course, who directed it, Safi?
Vince Gilligan.
Yeah, that's what you get when you get him to direct. I mean, I don't know if it would take like him mentoring these other directors, like saying, "Hey, do this, don't do this, this is how you do it."
But I don't know if he can do that because they're all established directors.
They're not.
Well, they've just done
the
different
ones that
things.
They hired in the middle. They're not established. They're like amateurs. They could use some mentoring.
In terms of this show, they are amateurs. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So, just let me tell you who's in this episode. Nacho's back with
Yeah,
Lalo,
there's a lot of Nacho.
Salamanca, and Gus, and who else? Of course, Werner, and that's the head German guy. His name is Werner.
You said that now.
I just want to make sure because not everybody around here is named Werner.
Yeah.
And Mike is in it, of course. And really, isn't that about it? And Hector Salamanca, the older guy, he's in it. I think that's it, really. So it can, when you hear their names, you can imagine what was happening. So
Yeah.
anyway.
So what else do you think about the episode? Do you think that it was an improvement upon last week, or upon the filler episodes, the middle, the bad episodes specifically?
Well, I guess you could compare it. You want to use a great metaphor to a balloon. And let's say you've blown up the balloon a lot and you're blowing it up. In this episode, you're just blowing it up even more and more. It's getting bigger and bigger.
What are
and
they
next
gonna do
episode,
next
which
week?
is actually the finale,
If you can believe that.
that the balloon is going to burst and a few heads are going to roll. So you're going to like whose heads is going to roll.
So since we just gave our rating, let's get into spoilers.
Okay, spoilers.
At the beginning, when Werner was doing the bomb stuff, I thought that he was
setting dynamite charges.
I thought that he was definitely gonna get killed.
Yeah, I thought he was going to get killed.
I thought that it was a trick. I thought that because it said Wiedersehen, that it meant that they were tricking him into going in there to get killed.
I didn't think that. I just thought that Kai is supposed to be the demolition expert. And so he set the charges, and then they had some kind of electronic box. And when you flip the switch, all switches didn't all match. There were 3 charges, and they didn't all match. So Werner, because it's his job, he had to go and look at them.
It said Wiedersehen.
And it said Wiedersehen.
And he had an anxiety attack, and so I was really kind of creeped out.
Yeah, he got started. He started talking to himself. You're going to be okay. Everything's going to be fine. And I thought, oh my God, he is going to get killed. And but he didn't get killed. Nothing happened. But it was really tense moment. And they set the charges off, and they all worked, and everything blew up. So
What else?
I know one thing that Marco could talk about because I didn't hear the whole story, and Marco did. But Lalo, who is Hector Salamanca's nephew, because he calls him uncle, so he is his nephew. He and Nacho go to the nursing home, which I think that the same nursing home where Jimmy used to go. I don't know, but they go.
This is the nursing home where Hector is for the rest of the series. In Breaking Bad, remember?
Well, he wasn't in any nursing home, and part of
What?
the time. Remember when
In Breaking Bad?
Yeah, when they were out in the country, and
Hector?
Yeah, he was out.
Hector was never in.
Yeah, he was later, but he wasn't. One time he was out in the country, and remember because.
Yeah, that was very short period of time.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, let's not even think about that anymore. But Hector was there, and Lalo Salamanca, his nephew, and Nacho came, and Lalo was it's the first time he's seen his uncle, and they're visiting him, and he was talking to him, and he could see that he would tap on the chair to say yes, and then he asked Nacho, what does he do when it's snowing, and he says he just doesn't do anything. So he
gives him a bell.
Yeah.
That was from a time in Mexico where they went to this family's hotel, and they burned it to the ground. And apparently Lalo went back inside and got the bell because the bellboy kept ringing the bell for help,
Oh God.
and so that's awesome. That was the best scene of the season. Was that whole thing, because I thought it was very creative. And see, that's what I meant by in that really terrible episode with when they changed his name to Saul with the cell phones. That's the type of moment I wanted for him to change his name.
Yeah.
Was this type of moment. And what else happened?
Well, so that's the origin of the bell, the infamous little bell, ding, 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 and he gets it and he starts dinging and drives all the other. Really, it was ladies, mostly ladies in the place, other residents that drove him crazy.
Yeah.
And then.
So let's talk about Jimmy being rejected.
Well, remember, Jimmy is up for his. I didn't know this was even going to happen.
I did.
I just thought he's going to be reinstated. I thought it was going to happen.
I thought it was going to happen in episode 10. I thought that would be like the last scene, is that he would get reinstated.
To me, he had to go to a hearing by this committee. I don't know what the committee's called.
A private hearing.
A private hearing. And to me, it reminded me of a parole hearing. Like he's been on parole, or he's not been on parole. He's been in jail, and he's going to get out, and he has to go to parole hearing, and if they think he's worthy, he'll get parole and he'll get out. Well, that's what it reminded me of. He didn't get it. And he gets mad because he's like, he did everything right. And he gets Kim, and she's in the middle of work. I mean, she's got something going on, and she leaves there, and she meets him, and she's shocked about it too. And
then he has words for her too, which was really cool because it's like finally they're paying something off with that.
Well, they get mad at each other.
Well, she does. She has this look that she gives him, like she thinks that he's lesser than her every time he does something nutty, like in last episode when he was suggesting what they would do for Huel. She just made this face at him like, "Oh, you're such an idiot. You're lower than man."
Well, she says, "And what did they do when you brought up Chuck?" And he said, "Chuck?
Who gives a F about Chuck?
Who cares about Chuck?" And
that jackass.
She's so incredulous. But then I saw on that trail, I saw a little trailer about the things that happened in the episode, and he brings up, which Marco and I have brought this up a few times in the previous
What, the letter?
reviews. No, the fact that Chuck, right before he died, he told Jimmy that he didn't matter to him.
Yeah.
And nobody else knew that. Nobody heard it. Nobody knows it. He didn't tell anybody. Nobody was around to witness it. So she doesn't know that. So that's why his attitude is about Chuck is so warped. Is because of what he said to him.
That's just the icing on the cake, though.
I know, but still,
he's terrible anyway.
I know that, but I just I think of all the assistance that Jimmy gave to him, and we've been through this where we had to depend on a cooler because our refrigerator was out, and it wasn't just for one day; it was for multiple days.
Well, that's because you wouldn't call it, get it fixed, but that's a different story.
No, I don't. They take 10 years to come here and get sick of it.
That's not an excuse.
But anyway, he did everything for him, and then the guy says, "Well, I don't really care about you." And I just thought it was so hateful, and it's almost like being cut off with a knife. Like somebody got a knife and just got an axe and just went zhoof and cut you off, and that's what he did. And so Kim doesn't know that, and so but I think at the end of the episode, he packs the suit up, and he says, I did screw up. So I think he realizes she was right, that maybe he should have mentioned him. And the reason why she said that he should have mentioned him, because she said that They probably
They asked him what his influence was, and he didn't say Chuck. He said his university.
Yeah.
And then there were also a couple of other words between them, just in general, and especially they mentioned the stuff with him and her boss, her partner, I guess, about what he said to him, and it's exactly portrayed how I said it was. Like he was a jealous boyfriend who's just spouting off, and he was too drunk or something. So exactly like how I expected.
Well, she said that the committee probably read the transcript of the court hearing, and that that's the reason why he should have mentioned Chuck.
Well, why would he even mention him? I don't get it.
Really, I don't understand. Why does he have to mention Chuck? I really don't. I don't understand that.
Did they even hear what he said in the interview?
Yeah, he actually did a very good job. I don't think he did bad.
No, I mean the court transcript. What Chuck said. Did they hear what Chuck said?
Oh yeah, really. The question which led to all this at the end, where what happened was they quote doubted his sincerity. And what happened was it was two women and a man who were questioning him, and one of the women asked him at the end, "What does the law mean to you?" And that kind of threw him for a loop.
Well,
I thought he gave a good answer, but anyway.
Well, it wasn't good enough for her.
Wasn't good enough.
Because basically he couldn't prepare it, so it didn't seem as authentic as the other ones. But anyways, the whole thing with them escaping, I thought that was very well put together. I don't get why he escaped, because Mike was giving him everything he could have asked for.
He's talking about Werner. Werner's married. He misses his wife. He wants to go home.
He could have
Mike says no.
He could have even gotten a Skype call or something.
Yeah, really.
Well,
he did talk about calling him. He did say, "I'll arrange for you to call her." Didn't he? I thought he did.
He did call her. I said Skype call.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? Well, I don't know. I don't know if they had Skype back then, because I don't know what year you're talking about.
The time period. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've
had it for a while, but I'm not sure when they got it in.
But still,
I don't think they may have had it.
Just I have no idea why he escaped. Other than he's just an idiot. He
wants to go back to Germany and see his wife, but I think.
Yeah, he said he wanted to go for 5 days.
But I think he would realize that once he left, he couldn't come back.
Yeah.
And so anyway, Vince Gilligan says, now he could just be saying this, so I don't know, but he said in this little trailer that it may not end well for him. So, who knows?
Who knows?
No, that was not. Nobody said that in the episode. Okay, but Mike figures it out. And he figures out that something's wrong, and it looks like he's the only one to go, but I don't know for sure. He could have had somebody go with him. I don't know.
Yeah, so anything else, Safi? Safi and Marco dish out on movies?
Nope.
Anything else?
Nothing else. We're still working on, it takes a long time to upload.
The tournament.
The tournament of Andy Griffith characters, and just a FYI, probably this next one, it won't last that long, because Marco's giving me all these characters that are terrible. So
see, Safi,
they couldn't win against an ant, much less a
I agree.
three-dimensional human being.
That's why I gave them to. But the thing is it wasn't really my choice, in a sense, because you know that I did not match these people up together. The site matched them up. So the site matched up a weak character and a strong character. And so therefore I I got to choose for the first round. I got to choose the good characters, which
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of think that maybe we should alternate choosing people, like for every other match I choose instead of just I choose for the entire round, because I don't know.
I don't know. We'll see, but
It could give one of us too much of an advantage in the final round.
I think this next round won't be very long at all.
And it's a podcast. It's not like a. I think a lot of people watch our videos expecting like a review. It's not. It's a podcast. We tried doing video reviews and they did not work, so we're not gonna do them.
Yeah, we want to get this finished because it's
October,
Halloween month.
and we have a lot of movies to watch
Yeah.
for a week.
Yeah. So anyway, we're done for now. Remember, next week will be the last Better Call Saul episode.
Yeah,
if you
you
can believe
excited?
that.
You excited for me to stop ranting about how terrible the writing is?
Well, I have lots of book reviews to do, so. Plus, we have all these Halloween movies to watch. I'm not talking about the movie Halloween. I'm just talking
Yeah,
about
we're not
scary
watching
movies.
that Halloween.
Scary movies.
Yeah.
Everybody else can watch that Halloween movie
Yeah.
if they want. I'm not interested.
We're watching Phantasm.
Oh yeah, I would
To
like to.
start
I've
off.
never watched Phantasm.
We wanted
so.
to watch it last year, but we could not find it. Was not available on Amazon.
It was available at Hoopla, which is that library site. I got it through my library,
So
and it's
now
basically you check something out.
it's on Facebook to watch for free.
Yeah.
Anybody could watch it actually
You
now.
mean YouTube?
No, Facebook.
Oh. Okay.
So goodbye everybody.
Bye everybody. See you soon.